A new CASHA document shows how Bill and Hillary Clinton's foundation collected donations from foreign and domestic interests seeking influence. The documents, now being dubbed as the Clinton corruption files, make it clear that there was an effort to obstruct legitimate inquiries into the foundation by blocking real investigation by line-level FBI agents and DOJ field prosecutors and keeping them from following the money. Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel hope to make all the documents public by the end of this week. And I know so many people, including you, Chris, I'm sure, will love to comb through these documents. I will say there's also Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley is supposed to get his hands on these documents. He has, of course, a lot on his plate with Arctic frost, everything else, but I'm happy to see that they're taking this up, and maybe we even get a hearing or two there, don't you think?
Well, it would be very nice. It's long, long overdue. In Washington, D.C., sometimes these things go on for decades on end before anybody raises an eyebrow. But the Clintons and their nefarious goings-on have been well established for a long, long time, going all the way back to Little Rock and the Rose Law Firm, where they were involved in all kinds of scandals and money-making schemes and madness. And, of course, Bill Clinton got a $500,000 fee for a speech that he gave in Moscow with, his Russian Moscow Kremlin friends. And that was all considered to be perfectly normal by the New York Times and CNN. They didn't see anything curious here. Kind of like the Biden family and all of their money flowing in.
It reminds me of, and around the time I worked at Breitbart, and I remember Peter Schweitzer came out with his book, Clinton Cash. I think it was during the 2016 election where, I think, Jimmy, maybe you remember this, there was the story, I think it was the New York Times actually picked it up, and it was about the Ukraine, it had to do with Ukraine and the money that flew from Ukraine to the Clinton Foundation. If you read his book, it is quite interesting how he follows the money, and it seems like every time there's a big donation, all of a sudden Bill Clinton would be getting on a plane and going to some country and making a speech.
And I think we can't forget what happened with Haiti, too. The large investment that the foundation put in Haiti, well, that money ended up going nowhere. Right. We don't know where it went. So I think, when you look at this...
To the cannibals, of course.
To the cannibals. Yeah. It's a shame because when you look at this, there are, over 1 million foundations in this country that are doing really good work. And it takes one, the Clinton Foundation, to really ruin it for everyone. But I think if you're sitting at home questioning whether you think this is true or not, there's a lot of documented history of kind of the corruption that has followed this famous, very famous couple.
That's a fact. That is a fact. And it's been well established. And the Schweitzer book was sort of the gold standard because he committed journalism there.
And, it was great investigative
and told the
reporting.
truth. It was great investigative reporting and a wonderful book. Yeah,
yes.
Did a great job.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.